Caitlin Clark
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm a
forth.
fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
Stephen A. Smith has never been one to bite his tongue. But this time, he didn't just clap back. He torched Angel Reese's latest comparison to Michael Jordan. After weeks of drama, viral highlights, and bitter rivalries, Stephen A. went on record to remind the world, Angel Reese is not Caitlin Clark. And she's definitely not Michael Jordan. Tonight, we break down the heated confrontation that's sending shockwaves through the WNBA, the internet, and even Michael Jordan's own legacy.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living, you know what, at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did, it would have never gotten to this.
It all started when ESPN analyst Jay Williams compared Angel Reese to Michael Jordan, claiming that by the time she retires, Reese could be the MJ of the WNBA. Bold statement, right? But Stephen A. wasn't having it. On First Take, he slammed the brakes on what he called a dangerous ego trip, reminding fans that Reese's performance so far simply doesn't match the hype.
First of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points. on opening.
That's
I mean,
true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than the Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level.
But this isn't just about Michael Jordan. This is about the feud that defined women's basketball in 2023, the rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. It began in the NCAA championship game, when Reese taunted Clark with the now iconic, "You can't see me" gesture. What was supposed to be playful swagger ignited one of the most polarizing debates in women's sports history.
Most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive
And while Reese rode that viral moment into the WNBA spotlight, Clark has quietly, no, not quietly, dominated the pro stage. Triple doubles sold out arenas, jersey sales through the roof. Meanwhile, Reese has struggled to put up points, managing just 4 in her latest matchup against Clark's Indiana Fever.
Angel Reese, part 38, let's get it!
Life throws her lemons. She makes bricks. Bang! PSA to anyone watching, she is right-handed. Right-handed, by the way. She missed the rim by 3 feet, man. Bang! I gotta say, this is my favorite summer sitcom. Pecan? Butter pecan? Bang! Here's a stat. She's been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 hoops. What? Bang!
And that's when Stephen A. dropped the hammer. He called out Reese for not delivering in big moments. While Clark racks up historic stat lines, Reese often disappears on the scoreboard, even when she has the spotlight all to herself. Stephen A.'s message was clear. If you call yourself a star, you have to play like one.
Because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shit.
But here's where it gets explosive. Comparing anyone to Michael Jordan is controversial. But comparing a WNBA rookie averaging single digits? That's career suicide. Jordan isn't just a basketball player, he's a cultural empire. A 6-time champion. A global icon, Caitlin Clark herself, despite her rising stardom, has never dared to put herself in Jordan's shadow.
Elaborate a little bit more on that in just a second. But before I do that, I want to ask you your thoughts about apparently some racial animus that was thrown in the direction of Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky have gotten involved, talking about they're going to protect their players at all costs. The WNBA has issued a statement saying it abhors and discourages hate of any kind, et cetera, et cetera. Your thoughts about it? Here's the WNBA statement. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Your thoughts about that element of all of this, where you believe it emanates from, and do you think it will ever subside?
The internet exploded. On one side, Reese's fans defended her, pointing to her college dominance and rebounding numbers. On the other, critics accused her of arrogance, calling her the WNBA's reality show star rather than a serious athlete. Some even labeled her season a TikTok trend, big hype, quick drop-off.
Oh, man, the latter part of that, Stephen A., is quite the thing to think on. I think when you go back to the impetus of the rivalry that we have between Caitlin and Angel Reese, I remember funny clips on the internet.
Another diabolical stat. She's 19 of 59 from less than 5 feet away. How about that, man? Bang! She should work in housekeeping for hotels because she could turn it over quickly. Lost by 27, scored only 4 points against the Indiana Fever. I mentioned no Caitlin Clark, no problem, give and go. Like a given no shot of working. Bang!
You prefer a car or plane?
Car or plane for what? For how you want to travel! That's too many steps and you can't do that.
And just when you thought it couldn't get uglier, the WNBA announced an investigation into hateful comments directed at Reese during the Fever Sky game. A storyline that began as fun rivalry suddenly turned into a serious conversation about race, respect, and the pressures of fame.
I have yet to see a single example of Angel Reese being a leader. Outside of rebounding her own missed layups, what does Angel Reese do? What is her contribution? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Reese, but she considers herself a star. If you're going to call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night. And for 27 minutes, she completely disappeared.
Let's strip away the noise. Caitlin Clark has been breaking records, elevating the Fever into must-watch television and selling out arenas nationwide. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's scoring has stalled. Just 4 points in her last outing against Clark's Fever, despite Caitlin sitting stretches with ice packs on both knees.
Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark. Because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her come uppance. And that's what made Angel Reese famous. Now, Angel Reese experienced vitriol thereafter. It was tough for her to deal with, as she articulated.
This wasn't hate. This was a reality check. Reese is talented. No one denies that. But comparing her to Jordan is unfair, not just to Reese, but to the game itself. Stephen A. isn't saying she can't be great. He's saying greatness requires more than confidence. It requires production. It requires consistency. It requires moments.
Well, there's a lot of reaction coming in from last night's drubbing, destruction, annihilation, cremation, whatever you want to call it, roasting, sauteed, whatever your form of cooking may be. But the Indiana Fever absolutely dismantled the Chicago Sky.
So here's the question. Is Angel Reese headed for a redemption arc or a cautionary tale? Will she silence her critics with breakout performances, or will she fade into the background as Caitlin Clark becomes the face of the WNBA? One thing's certain, Stephen A. Smith has lit a fire under Reese. Now the world is watching how she responds.
There's only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Fangirl over her? Bend the fucking knee? Kiss the ring? Like, what do you want from them? We cannot, every time the girl plays a game, she got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not every single game gonna revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful they have been.
What do you think? Is Stephen A. Smith right to call out Angel Reese? Or is this rivalry exactly what the WNBA needs to keep fans talking? Drop your thoughts below, because this story is far from over.
What an outfit Angel Reese was rocking. She put a lot of time, a lot of effort into making sure her ensemble was on point. Are my boots matching my jacket? Are my gloves matching my hat? Angel Reese put in tons of time for this outfit, which begs the question, does Angel Reese put in more time in her outfits for the pregame catwalk, or does she put in more time to actually get better at the game?
Goose comes along, and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. We lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all. Balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the...
Stephen A. Smith has never been one to hold back, and his latest rant has completely ignited the WNBA conversation. The spark? A viral claim suggesting that Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie and Chicago Sky rookie, could one day be the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. The statement, made on national television by analyst Jay Williams, instantly turned into a lightning rod for debate. And Stephen A. Smith didn't just disagree. He destroyed the idea, reminding the basketball world that not only is Reese nowhere near Michael Jordan's level, but she isn't even on Caitlin Clark's level right now. His blunt takedown, filled with fiery passion and backed by cold hard facts, has left fans, media, and players buzzing. To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to rewind. The rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese began long before the WNBA. It started in the 2023 NCAA championship when Reese taunted Clark with the infamous "You can't see me" gesture after LSU's victory over Iowa. That moment went viral worldwide, dividing fans between admiration for Reese's swagger and outrage at her taunt. From then on, Angel Reese was no longer just a player. She became a cultural symbol, a lightning rod, and in many ways, the face of controversy in women's basketball. On the other side, Caitlin Clark kept her head down and kept breaking records, becoming the NCAA's all-time scoring leader and the biggest ratings magnet in the history of women's basketball. Fast forward to the WNBA, and the gap has only widened. Caitlin Clark's debut season with the Indiana Fever has been historic. She's already dropping triple-doubles, pulling in massive TV audiences, and selling out arenas everywhere she plays. Clark has become the story of the WNBA, even drawing comparisons to legends like Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, with many saying she's revolutionizing the game. Angel Reese, however, has struggled to live up to her hype. Despite being marketed as Clark's rival, Reese has had games where she disappears completely on the scoreboard, most notably scoring just 4 points in a blowout loss to Clark's Fever, despite Clark being sidelined with an injury for part of the game. That's where Stephen A. Smith came in. On First Take, Stephen A. didn't just dismiss the Michael Jordan comparison, he obliterated it. He emphasized that while Reese has rebounding skills and charisma, she is not yet the kind of dominant, transcendent player that Caitlin Clark has already proven herself to be. His words were brutal. She's not Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. He reminded viewers that legends aren't built on hype or attitude. They're built on consistency, dominance, and championships. Michael Jordan wasn't MJ because of swagger. He was MJ because he won over and over again on the biggest stage. Smith's takedown also touched a nerve because it highlighted something many WNBA fans have whispered for months. Is Angel Reese more style than substance? Her confidence, fashion, and viral moments have made her a star off the court, but her performance has been inconsistent. Even as Reese grabs double-digit rebounds, critics argue that rebounding without scoring impact doesn't win games. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark not only scores but elevates her entire team, proving herself as a true franchise cornerstone. This controversy also brings up deeper issues. Angel Reese has spoken about the racism and hate she faces as a young Black woman in the spotlight, and the WNBA recently launched an investigation into fan behavior after Reese reportedly endured hateful comments. Stephen A. himself acknowledged that some of the backlash isn't about basketball, it's about what Reese represents culturally. Still, he made it clear, whatever the outside noise when it comes to pure basketball, Reese is not Caitlin Clark, and she is definitely not Michael Jordan. The fallout from Stephen A.'s comments has been massive. Fans are split, some defending Reese, saying she deserves time to grow into her role, while others argue that the media hype around her has far exceeded her production. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's star only continues to rise, with legends like Sue Bird, Cheryl Swoops, and even Michael Jordan himself reportedly paying close attention to her impact. At the end of the day, this moment wasn't just about one comparison. It was about the future of women's basketball, the media's role in shaping narratives, and the intense rivalry that has turned Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese into household names. Stephen A. Smith simply said out loud what many were thinking. Angel Reese isn't the next Michael Jordan. She's not even the next Caitlin Clark. And unless she finds a way to prove her critics wrong, she risks being remembered as the player who peaked in college while Clark soared to superstardom. Stephen A. Smith has never been shy about speaking his mind, but his latest takedown of Angel Reese has sent shockwaves through both the WNBA and the sports world. After ESPN analyst Jay Williams boldly suggested that Reese could one day be the Michael Jordan of the WNBA, Stephen A. hit the brakes hard, making it clear that the comparison wasn't just premature, it was flat-out disrespectful to the legacy of both Caitlin Clark and Michael Jordan himself. For months, the Reese-Clark rivalry has dominated headlines, ever since the infamous NCAA championship taunt went viral, turning Angel into the Bayou Barbie icon and Caitlin into the face of record-breaking ratings. But while Clark has exploded in her rookie season, dropping triple-doubles, selling out arenas, and becoming the unquestioned leader of the Indiana Fever, Reese has struggled to deliver in big moments, including a humbling 4-point performance against Clark's Fever despite having the spotlight all to herself. Stephen A. made it plain. Reese is talented, but she isn't Clark and she certainly isn't MJ. The backlash has been fierce, with fans split between defending Reese's charisma and calling out her lack of production, while the WNBA itself investigates allegations of hateful comments thrown her way during games. Still, the bigger question looms. Will Angel Reese rise to the challenge and prove Stephen A. wrong? Or has she already let the hype overshadow her game? One thing is certain. The fire has been lit, and the entire basketball world is waiting to see what happens next.